Hello friends, this is Satvinder Bhatia from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I am a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. So welcome you all to a new video. I'm very excited to bring you something very special today. But before we get into this, I request you to kindly subscribe to the channel. Please like and share. We make videos with a lot of effort and a lot of research. Our videos are providing you complete, accurate and latest information, most importantly. So before further delay, let's get started. What is this important news which I'm going to share with you? This is about a new program for GTA construction workers. Now, why this has become so important now? These are construction workers which are out of status. No status they have right now, and very difficult for them to get a PR. But the new change which happened is IELTS is not required now, and that's the most important part. They don't have to do any kind of language testing and straight away can get the PR. How? Let's see. So first of all, this is a temporary policy. Minister has a power to make such small kind of policies for designed particularly for a group or a community. They have the power to do that. So they have originally, minister made this policy in January 2nd 2022. Now you may be thinking why I'm sharing it now, because some changes happen, and those changes I'm just going to tell you. First of all, this policy got extended to 2023 to 2nd January 2023. That's one change which happened. Or it can be up to a maximum capacity of 500 people. So 500 applicants can be accommodated under this. If the capacity gets filled or the date gets okay, then this gets over. So by 2023 or by 500 principal applicants, they can, under this there are also, you can also bring your family also under this, so that won't be counted, only the principal 500 applicants. So what happened is, why this change has been done? Because as of end of 2021, only just 52 applications were received, and the major problem which minister saw was actually the challenge with language testing. So what was done now? The language testing is removed. You don't have to prove your language testing. No IELTS. You don't have to do any kind of IELTS, which is a big challenge, particularly for the people who are into the construction industry. So they may be very dexterous, they may be very resourceful in doing their construction job, but sometimes they lack in their language testing, and that's why it has been removed. So important news, policy got extended to 2023 and IELTS got removed. Now, the policy is designed, why this is designed? Because there is an excessive shortage of labor, particularly in the GTA market. Now, this policy focuses only on GTA market. And one thing I'll tell you, as with any other public policy, the minister has the power. If they can make a policy, they can revoke a policy. Simple, right? So that power is with them, and they can revoke the policy anytime they wish to. So with that, let us see what the program is and how the process is there in this program. So, you know, always I try to make the things easier and understandable for you. So in this, with the help of a diagram, I'm trying to explain you the steps. Now, the first step which happens under this is you have to complete an application form. That application form is with CLC, Canadian Labour Congress, right? So that Canadian Labour Congress, you have to fill up an application form, complete and submit an application form. Number 2, the CLC will check application, and if they find eligible, they will refer for PR. Number 2. Number 3, if you are approved, you will get, IRCC will check it. If you are approved, IRCC will issue you TRP, because PR card takes time, right? So it's not that your application got approved and you get the PR card. No, it will not happen like that. So you will get, for the initial time period, you will get TRP, which is temporary resident permit, which makes you legal in this country, and eventually you will get also the PR card. Plus you will get a work permit also. So you can now legally work. You don't have to work on cash now, right? So you have the legal rights to work now. So here is the Canadian Labour Congress form, which you need to fill. I have provided the link in the description also, how you need to fill. and where exactly you can find the form I have provided in the description. You can take it from there. Also, now this policy is for GTA construction workers. I'm repeating the word GTA. Now the problem is that my definition, your definition, somebody else's definition of GTA is different. But to make it clarified, to make it easier, the government has already defined what GTA includes. So in their definition, GTA includes, of course, it is a Greater Toronto area, so it will include Toronto for sure, plus 4 other regions. What those regions are? First is Durham region, which includes your Oshawa, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Clayton. All these regions will be included. Halton region, which includes Burlington, Halton, Milton, Oakville, and then it includes your Peel region, where maximum people who are in the community from construction are living, which includes Brampton, Mississauga, Caledon, and lastly York region, Vaughan, Markham, Richmond Hill, Newmarket, Aurora, and King. All these areas are etc. are included in this particular GTA definition. So now that you know what the process is, now you know what the definition of GTA is, you know this is a program for construction workers for GTA who are out of status. Now you will immediately say, tell me how to apply. So I'm telling you how to apply. So just to make the things easy for understanding, I have drawn this with the help of a diagram. So these requirements must be met. The first requirement is currently you have no status, you are out of status. Whatever the reason is, you are out of status. So you are living in Canada for 5 years, you have the right work experience, you have a family in Canada, you are referred by CLC, and you are admissible to Canada. Don't worry, I'll explain each and every point of this in detail, so there is no confusion, and you know by the end of the video you have the complete knowledge of this. So let's get into the first one, currently out of status. Now this is important to understand that you are currently out of status, but you entered legally into the Canada when you first entered. That doesn't mean that you entered with the help from the illegally with the human smuggling, or you entered across the land border or across the sea border, you entered illegally. That will not work. When you entered for the first time in Canada, you entered legally through port of entry, POE, and you had a valid whatever, maybe visitor visa, maybe student visa, maybe any other kind of work permit you had, and you were good at that time, but eventually your visa expired or your permit finished and you are currently out of status now. So that is most important. You are currently out of status now, and make it sure that you have not entered illegally into Canada. So this is the first requirement, and now move on to the second requirement, which is living in Canada. When we say living in Canada, you must be living in Canada for last 5 years, and you are currently living in Canada, plus you are living in Canada for last 5 years. So how to prove that you are living in Canada? So you should have either you own a house, or you have a lease agreement, or you have a rental agreement, right? Anything which can make sure that you have that you are living in Canada, you have an address, you have if you don't have the lease agreement, sometimes some people are in basement, you can get a letter from the landlord, or you can get a bills or bank deposits which can show that okay, this is there is an address on the bank, or any kind of statement, you have the address which shows that you are living at that particular address. Now point number 2 is done. Now point number 3, and this is important point, so please be watchful on this point. Work experience. As I said, you should have a work experience in construction, right? So when you apply, you must be working in Canada. That is the important thing. You are currently working and you have worked in the past. Both the things are important. Currently working, work in the past, both important things. Now what type of work, right? You could be working in an assembly line, you could be working in a sales. Will that work? No. Only there are certain knock codes of construction also. In construction also there are different fields, but we are only going to stick to these 3 knock codes: 7441, 7521, 7611. If your job falls under this knock code, excellent, you are good. Okay, now that you know that work experience is there, in particular knock code, you will ask how much work experience is needed. Now, how much in last 5 years? You need around 3 years of work experience, but IRCC counts this work experience in terms of hours, not years. So your work experience should be 4,680 hours. Sometimes some construction workers work on some particular week more. So the important thing you need to know is hours. 4,680 hours total in last 5 years. That is the thing important to be noted. It could be full-time job, right? It could be a part-time job. It depends. It doesn't matter, right? How to prove your work experience? Now you can prove your work experience by a lot of things. T4 slips. You can your work permits if you previously have your notice of assessment. I would say one of the important things is letter from your employer. That is very useful in proving that you are working for this particular construction company, this particular job. That letter holds a lot of value, right? So this is about the work experience, point number 3. Now moving on to point number 4, family in Canada. Again, family is also kind of, to take out the ambiguity out of this word, the family has been defined in 2 parts. It could be your immediate family, which could be your wife or your kids, or it can be extended family. Now let us look into each of it. So you can apply if your family is living in Canada. It can be either your spouse, common law partner, or child in Canada, and they must have entered legally. That's an important point. Or it could be extended family. And now what comes under extended family? It could be your mother, father, it could be your uncle, aunt, it could be your brother, sister, it could be your grandfather, grandmother, grandchild, nephew, niece, or cousin. But again, as with all the things, we have to provide proof. If I say spouse, then I have to provide a marriage certificate. If I say any other things like child birth certificate, so whatever, it could be a family booklet for family, you have to provide the proof. That's the most important key part in this. Now, point number 5 is referral by CLC, Canadian Labour Congress. To be eligible, you have to be referred by CLC. CLC is responsible for checking the requirements. If they find that you are eligible, they will print a referral letter, and this referral letter you need to attach with the application. Only after you get this referral letter, IRCC will look into your application and keep a copy of this referral letter. I have mentioned here also for your own records. Now, point number 6, this is the last point. You have to be admissible. Not just you, your family also have to be admissible. Now, admissibility is I will try to make a video on what admissibility is and what inadmissibility is. It's a long and lengthy topic. So for now, I'll just stick to one single line, which is that inadmissibility means you are not allowed to come to Canada. Whatever the reasons, it could be medical reasons, crime, drink driving, there are many reasons. I will try to make a complete video on this. But for now, if you are inadmissible to Canada for whatever reason, you won't meet the requirement. Now, you, and not just you have to be, your dependents also have to be admissible to Canada. And CLC is not responsible for checking your admissibility. It is IRCC which checks your admissibility, the immigration or visa officer that looks into this. Now, since you know the requirements, who can apply, you will immediately ask, who cannot apply? You got to know the process. You got to know who can apply. What is this program about and for whom this program is? Now, important thing, who cannot apply? So if you or your family has filed a refugee claim, you cannot apply. Also, if you have or your family has filed a refugee claim which was rejected, again you cannot apply. Another important thing, you need to meet the requirements. All those requirements which I have mentioned earlier, 6 points. If you do not meet the requirement, you cannot apply. And lastly, most important, this program is for GTA construction workers. If you are in Ontario, anywhere else in Ontario, this will not work. Suppose you say, I'm in Niagara Falls. It's in Ontario, but still, it won't work for you. This program will not work for you. You cannot apply for this, right? This program is only for people who are in GTA. Not just, oh, maybe I'm in Alberta, I'm in Nova Scotia, I'm in BC. No, this will not work. Only for people who are in GTA, who are in construction industry, who are currently in Canada. If any of your friends, relatives, or somebody else you know who is out of status in construction industry in Canada, here in GTA, this is the golden opportunity. Straight away PR. Just imagine, straight away PR. Okay, so now that you know who cannot apply, what else you need? There is nothing much you need except that, which is usual, that you need a police certificate for any place for you and your family members, if you have lived more than 6 months at a particular place, and biometrics, which you have to give for you and your family, which is fingerprintings and photo after you apply. So I have tried to give you the entire information. If you still have any challenges, please, you can reach out to our Brampton office, schedule an appointment. Our email and address is mentioned here along with the phone numbers. Please don't forget to subscribe. It's very essential for us. It encourages us, and it also, when we make a video, it can reach to you timely fashion. So once again, thank you very much.